Baby, I'm too grown to grow.
Well, hello and welcome, everybody. I know you would probably say to yourself, wait a minute, that's not Latanya. No, it isn't Latanya. I am going to be your host today. My name is Moses Haynes, but everybody refers to me as Mo. And, I know you guys are probably so used to seeing Tanya's beautiful face up here, but y'all just going to have to deal with me today. That's just how this thing going to flow. So, one of the things I told Tanya, since she allowed me to do this, that I was gonna kind of keep toss it up in the air and kind of see what kind of topics maybe her audience wants to touch on. But if you have the opportunity to chime in, please do so. And if there's any subject you think you might want to talk about, so until we get something going, for the time being, guess I can tell you a little bit about myself. 60 years old. Yeah, been around this planet for about 60 years. Hope to get some more time in on it. I'm looking forward to that. I'm not married, but I'm happy. So some of y'all might get that one. Yeah. Two beautiful, along with three beautiful grandkids. And right at this point, I'm just trying to enjoy life, make it as peaceful as possible. So that's what I'm flowing with right about now. I'm trying to get going. Like I said again, for those of you that's going to be tuning in or about to start tuning in, my name is Moses, but everybody refers to me as Mo. I will be your host today on Lati's show. And again, I know you all expecting to see her, but you got me. So let's see if we can make this thing work and keep it excited. I told her I'm going to do my best. I probably can't do it as pull it off as the way she does it, but I'm gonna try my best to keep you all interested and keep you all going. I know there was a couple of subjects that she had talked about in the past, and we've already discussed it. Now, if you guys allow me to, what I want, but like I said, I'm gonna leave it up to you all to come up with some more topics. I want to know keep in mind, when is it considered enough dates? And when I say that, I'm asking like this point of view. From a man's point of view, for the brothers out there, when do you consider it to be enough dates? And when I say that, like when you take somebody out, you treat them and everything else, I mean, does that process go on for a period of time for you to decide you all are into a relationship, or do you have a cutoff period? And for the ladies, I want y'all to tune in too. Tell me what you think. What are your suggestions? Should there be a cutoff period on how long you guys should consider dating, or how long you should date somebody before you actually step into the next stage of whatever you want to call it, relationships or in love like. So yeah, please feel free to chime in on that subject if you'd like to continue that one as well. So, like I said, we're going to just keep it kind of smooth, mellow, try to flow with this thing, make some good positive vibes come up out of it. Again, chime in on any suggestions that you may have, and you may want to discuss on this night, Monday night. I know probably some of all my football fans, y'all probably already into the football game. I got a doubleheader going tonight, so I'm pretty sure that some of y'all probably into the football game, because if you watch our game Sunday, the Bears, you didn't see a football game. So you probably right now watching some real football game, because right now that's not what we get. Yeah, we in some deep trouble here. We are definitely in some deep trouble in Chicago. I said to myself, I was really giving up on the Bears like a couple of years ago. Literally I've really given up with football over 5 years ago. But when the Bears drafted Justin Fields, and I am a big Ohio State fan, love Ohio State. So that's what made me gravitate back to watching football again, and actually still again becoming that Bears fan. Because I thought there was gonna be some hope. I really did. I looked back, I said, well, they're gonna have a hell of a decent quarterback. Hopefully they can get this gentleman the right tools he needs to get him to that next level, to get the Bears to the next level. But right now, that ain't look like what is about to happen here. I'm trying to be optimistic, but hopefully they don't trade my guy. And if they do, I'm probably going to end up following him wherever they go. So that'll probably be my next thing. So like I said, but if you are tuned in right now and you're watching, please feel free to comment in on the page. Tell me what you guys want to discuss, or is there anything that you would like to discuss? And everything's open on the table. We're going to keep it open. How they going to say, we're going to keep it Gucci. So anything you guys choose or want to discuss, let's jump in that topic and make a discussion go with it. I know she's got a great following and a great audience. And again, I'm not her. So hopefully that won't deter people from, tuning in. Because I know they probably look and go, that's not Tanya. So I might be on the road page or something like that. But no, we are at her show. Right now, she's taking just a small hiatus. She'll be back soon. But I told her in order to keep the show going, keeping the flow going, that I would go ahead and pitch it for her. And like I said, try to make some things happen here. So looking for some comments. See if anybody wants to chime in and talk about anything. Or if they have anything on their chest they may want to get off. I see we got something going on right now. Okay. All right. Got Brother Farad there. Okay. Oh, you want to talk about loyalty? That's a good subject, my brother. That's a great subject. Loyalty. Oh my gosh. What can we say about loyalty? Does it still exist? That's probably the question I want to ask. Does loyalty still exist? I'm really like, what's going on, brother? I mean, especially with relationships, man. Does loyalty really exist anymore? What I've noticed, and again, being in the single world myself, is because there are so many options out there now. And for me, from what I see, is people don't want to put labels on relationships anymore. And when they do decide to put the label on the relationships, they want to do it based off of, okay, yes it is. Oh, okay, somebody said there is. How you doing, Miss Smith? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. I don't want Tanya to think that nobody tuning in. So, but thank you, I appreciate it. So you said there is loyalty still out there. Please put it in the comment. Tell me why you think it is. I have some concerns about it. Like I said again, based off of some of my experiences, I will say I wouldn't say I was 100% loyal in all my relationships, but however, over the last few, or I should say, last very long relationships I have, I was very faithful, and But even in my attempts to be faithful, oh my gosh, I got a lot of slack out of my relationships because, quote unquote, my exes thought that I wasn't being loyal. Actually, I was being very loyal to the relationship. One was actually a long distance relationship. And I found it surprising myself that I could still be loyal in a long distance relationship. And we pretty much stayed together for about a year and a half. We didn't break up from no infidelity or anything like that. I think just the wear and tear of the long distance stuff kind of got to us. But being said, like I said, I'm very loyal to that relationship. My question probably would have been to her, and I pretty much think she's loyal as well. Now you need that. Some outdated loyalty is not a requirement. Oh, my brother. Thank you for bringing that up. I would have to agree 100% with my brother on this. We have an opportunity a lot of times. We hang out at Cigar Lounge, so we get to talk to a lot of women that frequent the Cigar Lounge. And one of the questions we always ask a group of women, what are the main 3 topics or I should say, what are the main three qualities that you look for a man? And when they usually respond, the thing we get majority of the time out of that conversation, and I guess you, Farad, please, if I say something wrong, please correct me on this. But what we get out of the conversation all the time is the first thing women always talk about is finances. Oh, he's got to be financially secure, and it's either finance or good. Then I'll go to the protection. And it might be oh, Farad, I got a brain fart here. You might have to help me on this last one. But always, the first thing is always geared toward finance. And I guess that's why, yeah, we're probably really talking about, is it really you truly love your man or woman, you won't cheat on her? Oh, yeah, I agree with that as well. I agree with that as well. I'm going to come back to that in just a second, Ms. Kim. I'm going to come back to that in just a second. But I'm going back to the question Farad that posted out. Yeah, so is it loyalty? Because what we find out is nobody talks about love anymore. They talk about the character, the character traits they're looking for in the mate. But nobody ever mentions love. And then when we bring the subject up of love, they always go, well, oh, you just fall in love. Well, I mean, I get it. Yeah, you can't fall in love, but isn't that the premise of why we get together? To love a person or to, experience love? But it seems today it's all about, again, the finances, what you're able to produce, what you can put on the table. It just seems to reflect more of that than it does love. And love is always at the way far back end of trying to, again, establish some type of relationship with a person. Many times we've heard women say, I'm going to grow to love a man, to a woman is how much money you make, and a man loyalty is honesty and trust. I'm not gonna say I disagree with that, Farad. I'm not gonna say I'm agree to disagree. I do like that statement. However, I will say that and Ms. Kim already chimed in that as well. Yes, I definitely agree. Woman's definition of loyalty is different from a man's. Now that part I definitely would agree with you all. But Ms. Kim, I will say, if you love, you can make this. If you love somebody that don't lie, don't cheat, and live like me, I live you, or as I love you. Sorry, don't lie, don't cheat, love me the same way that I love you. I get it. Okay, all right. Yeah, I was just about to comment. Respond to your comment. Yeah, that would be the premise of a relationship. But here's the thing. I will say this. Okay, just because a person cheats doesn't mean that they don't love you. And I definitely will put that out in the universe. I'm not going to say that's an excuse to cheat. I'm not going to say that justifies cheating. But however, just because a person cheats does not mean they don't love you. I'll always try to speak from personal experience. So, like I said, I have a past. I'm sure many of us do. I'm not gonna put all my dirty laundry out here because if I ever get famous, y'all ain't gonna use this shit on me. But anyway, the fact remains is just this. Just because I was or I displayed infidelity in my relationship didn't mean that I didn't love that person I was with. I'm a firm believer in this. I'm a firm believer. I could be wrong. In cases I am. But I believe that I think any and everyone will cheat given the right time and the right opportunity. I know a lot of y'all may disagree with that statement, but I'm gonna stick to my gun now. I really think if the person the right opportunity to and they feel like it's they will go. Like I said again, you could be in love with somebody dearly, but even though you're in love, things in the relationship may not be as solid as you want them to be. And with that being said, sometimes we have tendency because again, by all human standards, we all love attention. Don't let nobody ever tell you guys they don't like attention. That's a lie. Everybody in the world wants to be recognized, some shape, form. So even still, if you got men or women out here that may be getting lack of attention that they see, again, some people probably getting a whole lot of attention, but still, again, find that urge to step out. Brother, do not kick me out of the men's club. What I'm about to say next. So, when I did my thing, when I cheated on my ex at the time, it wasn't because again I did love her. It was because our relationship was coming normal, and when I say normal, it was like I felt like at some point I was only attracted to her. And I mean, she would tell me how nice I look on occasion, and so forth, and tell me that if I had on a particular suit or whatever, but I wasn't getting that attention from other people or other women, I should say. I wasn't getting that kind of attention from other women, so it kind of fucked with my ego a little bit, because questioning myself, am I still attractive? Do I still have it? So, I started to, wonder. So, yeah, like anyone else would do, at least I'm just saying, I had to venture out to find out. I had to venture out. Now, what I should have did, I basically probably should have put a limit to it. However, again, I just let my ego overtake everything. And so when my ego overtook the opportunity, it had me to engage further than I should have done. So, yeah, that was probably like one of the why. But as I say again, I think men, and when a man decides to cheat, or when he cheats, I will say this. I'm not speaking for all men, it's just a percentage. So let me put that disclaimer out there now. Especially going to come again from my experiences. Again, Ms. Kim, I didn't take away the love from the person that I was with at the time. I loved her dearly. But that woman that I was cheating with, I didn't have love. That was merely based off of sexual preference. So technically, I could go and sleep with her and get up and go back to my girl or whatever and love her. And when I say love her, continue to show her the love that I needed to show her. Basically, when quote unquote, when we put the term out here, side piece now, you get all these things now. A side piece don't get the same benefits as the significant other gets. But I think it's changed over the years. Because now I think side pieces are actually getting more out of the foundation than once before. So, like I said, at that point, again, I would have to say men can separate, usually, when they start cheating, they can separate themselves from the emotion part. So, you technically go and sleep with a woman and not have any emotions whatsoever. Now, back in the day, it would have been hard for me to accept that from my woman because basically knowing the person she was, I know technically she's not the type that will, just get involved with somebody unless she has some feelings with them. So if she cheated on me, I know I would have been devastated behind it because the fact I knew she would have been tying her emotions to that. And it wouldn't just have been a sexual encounter. It would have just been literally maybe her being in love with this guy or having some deep feelings for him. So that part I can't accept because, again, I'm not saying mine was right. I'm not saying what I did was right. However, what I'm saying is when I did my thing, it wasn't like I would tell the person who I was kicking it with on the side, I ain't leaving my woman. So if you want to do this thing, we can do it. We can do it. If you want to, bump nasty or, do our thing, we can do it. But just understand, I'm not leaving her. I know one time we had a real big bad experience. The side piece, as you call it. She and I had bad experience because she actually wanted me to start talking about why it is I was seeing her and what was wrong in my relationship. And as I told her, I was like, listen, I'm just going to be honest with you. There's nothing wrong with my relationship. Right now, I'm just being a horny dude. I'm just being a horny ass man. And again, I'm not going to sacrifice my relationship with her. And I told this person, listen, if you don't want to do this anymore, I'm cool with it. But just understand, I'm not going to leave my girl at home. I'm not going to give anything up. I'm not going to take from her to give to you. So if you just want to do the sexual thing, I'm all good with it. I'm down with it. But I definitely was not going to have my girl replaced by her. Now, that's just that was just my personal experience. Like I said again, I think it's a lot different now because the way I see it now, please hope if there's some other women on here, I appreciate you, Miss Kim. But there's some other women on here, please chime in on this and tell me, because I think right now women are doing it more than men. I think women can separate the emotion part and just sleep with guys and not think nothing else about it. So if I'm wrong on my assessment on this, please somebody chime in and tell me. Because literally I've seen this done a lot lately. Again, being in that single field and that non-relationship status, I've seen this. Women will tell you in a minute that, yeah, I just want some too. And listen, we ain't got to tie no emotions with this. You just, hey, we do what we do and we keep it moving. So I think the tables have kind of turned a little bit when it comes to that. Again, going back to the loyalty part, I think that's a twofold situation. Let's see what Farad titled. Crazy woman loyal to their job and boss loyal to their church, especially their pastor. Yeah, bro, I might have to agree with you on that one. Oh, I'm definitely gonna have to agree with you on that. Oh yeah. We now that's another subject. Yeah. I would definitely have to agree with my brother on that one too. It's amazing. It's amazing. And man, I wish, please, if there's some other women on here, please try me. Because again, this is a topic that we talk about quite frequently. And I would love to hear different opinions on this. And again, we at Latif Show. My name is Moses. I'm sitting in for it tonight. Hopefully I can keep you guys entertained and keep you glued into this. And like I said, hopefully we can get some good comments going out of this. But let me go back to what I was just reading there a minute ago, what my brother said. And it's totally correct. I find it so amazing that how women can be loyal to the pastor, they can be loyal to the boss, but when you ask them to be loyal to the man or the guy that they have a relationship, that's kind of like that's a lost art now. It's like almost a lost art that women don't want to come into, how I want to say it, without questioning his capabilities. The point I'm making here is just this, you'll take the word of a minister, pastor, whatever, and assume whatever they're saying is to be correct. In some instances, your bosses, you may not agree with what he's saying, but there's not a whole lot of, how I would say it, rebuttal from you in regards to how he moves and everything else. But however, when you start to get with that man, this man got to constantly prove himself to you. One of the things we were talking about the other night is just this, and I find it so hard to understand. Why is men, and I'm saying this, I'm emphasizing on the word men. Why are men the most unconditionally loved creature walking this planet? Oh my God, will some woman please explain that to me? We got to constantly, as men, prove ourselves in order to gain love from you. We have to prove ourselves. We have to prove ourselves on the aspect that, again, we're providers, protectors, that we can hold our own. But however, technically speaking, we don't ask that a whole lot from you all. We really don't. My brother Farad on here, he always says to a woman when they start talking, he tells them quickly, especially if they bring up the subject about where he work. He always tells them he works at McDonald's. And I want to say probably out of those, most of the time when he makes that comment, the response usually is the woman gonna walk off. Rarely, or she's gonna probably end the conversation. And he's adamant about pushing that McDonald's thing. He'll tell her in a minute, hey, You come and pick up breakfast in the morning, I got you. You ain't got to worry about it. You'll never have to pay for another breakfast. But apparently, that's not enough to bring him into the fold. But however, he did get lucky. There was one woman that he actually brought the statement out to, and her response was just so freaking. I mean, basically everybody at the table had to like they said to respond. Her response when he told her he worked at McDonald's, she was like, "Oh, that's great. Then what can we do to build on that?" And I was taken automatically by her response because this woman didn't allow whatever his status was, whether it was financial or it was I don't want to say it a celebrity status or even that of status quo. That's the term I'm looking at. She didn't take all that and because they wanted to know, yeah, he has a job, but now where can we come here or how can we take it to the next level? And she was really engaging with him. So she asked him again, like, working there, what is it? He worked to try to get into some type of managerial program. And we all knew it was a lie that my guy was putting out there. But just to see that woman become so involved in trying to get him to the next level was amazing. And again, we did this before, but however, when we did it before, there was so many women that would not even continue the conversation once they found out where it worked. Especially when he telling me he'll always give him free reference or take him out to the with some ice cream. Yeah, I've heard women, oh, I don't eat ice cream. I don't eat ice cream. And let's be realistic. They should have known he was lying because McDonald's ice cream machines never work anyway. So that's a heads up, women. That's a lie anyway. But anyway, I'm gonna move on from that. But yeah, you kind of right on that, Farad. I definitely agree with you. We as men have to show a sense of our loyalty toward the women, as far as believing in what they can do and their abilities and so forth. Whereas again, we as men, we got to constantly keep proving ourselves. We have to prove ourselves to be worthy. And I'm not saying that's wrong, because that's just kind of how society has placed everything. Whether you start from a biblical standpoint or if you just start to, go from just society itself and how society sets it up. Men have always had to do that, be the protector, the provider, and so forth and so forth. And again, the aging time that we're living in, folks, that's hard as hell. That's literally hard as hell. Like again, I just find it hard that people don't even focus on love anymore. Miss Kim, are you still in the audience there? Are you still with us? I'm hoping so. I'm hoping some other people chime in here. Did we get any other people that fall in or make some comments or make any remarks they want to make or something? Excuse me, I was thirsty. I just had to, take that edge off. But going back to again, it's just truly amazing. Thank you. Listen, if you want to pass the word on to some of your female friends, or like I said, please continue to comment. I like to hear what you got to say on this subject. Like I was saying again, it's just that constant thing with me. One thing I try to talk about a lot of times, but what I try to do is, what I found funny is people don't go out. When do dates become interviews? Can somebody explain that to me? When do dates become interviews? The interview process, at least for me, is when you first start talking on their phone. When you first have that initial conversation. When you like, okay, hey, you break the ice. How you doing? Well, initially you're gonna break the ice by trying to get a phone number, or if not, you're gonna go on Facebook and swipe left or right, or hit the dot, whatever it is. Then y'all gonna take the conversation from there. But to me, that's the interviewing process right there. So if it's an interviewing process, that's the interviewing process. Now, however, when we get together that first date, man, we're not finna be talking about what I do for a living, where I work, and all this stuff. We ain't finna do all that. We finna have some freaking fun. That's the premise of us getting together on a date. We gonna have some freaking fun and see if we can coexist with one another. But the problem is, everybody takes the first date and use that to, again, to analyze that person that's in front of. Listen, I know there's some psychos and some crazy people out there, some stalkers, whatever you want to call them, but again, we just gotten away from just that communication. And when I say that communication, again, just trying to get, just to be with a person or near a person, and like I said, allow things to manifest in itself. Go out and, like I said, like my brother said, we go get a couple of Sundays from, won't be from McDonald's, it'll probably be from Wendy's. Go walk in the park, have some fun. You know what? Now we did that. We sit on the grass and check out the people, make fun of people walking by. We can't do that. Then again, we go out, maybe get a bat and a ball, maybe hit some softballs or whatever, go to a mini golf course or go to Top Golf. But just have some fun. People don't have fun no more on dates, man. It's not a freaking interview every time you all get together. That is not the thing. You cannot do this. Listen, if you're interviewing people on a date, I'm gonna ask you this question. When you when you were interviewing from that freaking job, whatever job you hold, and them folks sit across that table and ask you, can you work holidays, weekends, and all this other stuff? You sit there and told them, yeah. Now, once you got that job, and they told you that first time you had to, I can't do that. Well, if you could allow an interview at a job, you need to tell me you could allow that same interview in front of a person in front of you trying to figure out who are. Come on, that's why I say at least enjoy yourself. Have some freaking fun with it. I don't go on dates unless I have talked to you on the phone and gotten to know you. Agreed. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Ms. Kim, that's exactly what I'm saying. All that should have been done up front while we on the phone. When we on the phone having those conversations on the phone, and we talking about again, maybe where you grew up, lifestyle you have, or do you like kids? Have you been married before? We get all that out and open over the phone. Now, when we got that to that point where we comfortable, when we go on that date, all that, excuse my friend, that shit shouldn't even come up no more. We ain't even talk about that. We gonna talk about now, how can we just have some fun? How can we enjoy one another? And how can we get into, again, just having some fun here? But like I said, to me, that's just all became a lost art. That's people have just gotten away from that, and it's just kind of crazy to me. I mean, again, I think we should be able to, especially when this age of life, and let's just be realistic, folks. Those of you that are tuned in, the way the economy is, and I'm not gonna lie, unless you're making some real decent ass money, dates gonna be very limited from here on out. And when I say very limited, people are going to start coming up with creative ideals. Where before is you may have to go out and you go and have this expensive meal or whatnot, or you go to Entourage or Ruth Chris. Time's hard out here. So again, people may not have. So now you got to come be creative. Again, that's where that ice cream comes into play from McDonald's. No, Wendy's. I'm sorry. That's where that ice cream comes into play. But again, you just got to get creative. Or again, pack a picnic basket. Go hang out and do something like that. Everything. Man, listen, paintball. If you guys don't go paintballing, you just, again, you can find ways to have fun and not spend a whole lot of money. I know for some women that's like, oh, he cheap. Well, here's my thing. Did your ass have fun? If you had fun, then it wasn't no cheap ass date. You didn't have a waste of time. Your time was not wasted. You had fun. So we ain't got to put a price tag on it, folks. Just to have fun. We ain't got to put a price tag on it. Let's just go out there and do it. Like I said, that's kind of my thing when it comes to the dating scene and how the dating world is going on. You guys got any questions or comments or anything you want to ask me that I can probably help you with, or I guess I help you with, but kind of inject my opinion on or put some spin on what I think things are. Like I said again, we have great conversations, great conversations at the Cigar Lounge. We attend a cigar lounge out in Aurora, and of course, Burn the Leaf. Cinderella. We have, oh man, like, I have to tell you guys, we had some very intense conversations there. I get to learn a lot about the opposite sex, so forth. I get to learn a lot about my brothers too. That's one of the things that I'm grateful for. I should say that the guys I hang out with, that we're able to talk as men. We're able to talk as men. Women, let me throw this out here. If you're listening in, there are a lot of brothers out there talking. The problem is you are just hearing them and not listening. Let me repeat that again. There's a lot of brothers out there talking. However, you're just hearing what he's saying instead of listening to what he's saying. Women, you're going to have to start listening. You're going to have to start listening. And again, I'm not going to attack the women. I wish there was more on here so I can get a lot more feedback on this subject. Miss Kim, make sure you do me a favor. You tell these women what we're talking about, so hopefully they can tune in on the next one. But when I'm saying that is, again, women, you have to listen to how these men are out here talking, and quit confusing the dating scene. And when I say confusing the dating scene, I remember at some point women used to, oh, you hold everything in. You're like a closed, you're like a closed book. You just don't want to open up. You don't want to express yourself. You don't want to talk about your feelings. Now that men talking about their feelings, all of a sudden we become bitches. And I find that crazy as hell. Because I'm again asking, what is it that you want from men? Because in one sense, you ask for men to express themselves, and keep in mind, it's been hard for us because the reason why we couldn't express ourselves in the past is because how society had dictated how we had to carry ourselves. That's a lot of freaking burden for men. I'm not saying women don't go through their own hell, but y'all hear me on this one. Men carry a lot of freaking burden inside them. I mean, that they cannot express. And like I said, one thing I'm grateful for is me and my brothers, we get together and we talk about things. We do. We talk about things. No, that's the great part about black men. When black men talk, especially real black men. No, let me rephrase that. I don't like using that term. I'm just going to say that are in tune with one another. When in tune with one another, there's no judgment. There's no judgment. One of the last things we got together and we talked about, and that topic took us to a damn near 4-hour-long conversation. I talked about what are the things that we're fearful about in life. What are the things that we're afraid of? And I'm not talking about like, gang banging type shit. No, we're not talking about that. We really open up. We open up and we express the things that we are afraid of as men. And I'm not just saying like police brutality and all like this. No, there were some things that we discussed that were on a personal level. I wouldn't share all that conversation with you, but there was some deep conversations being open. One of mine, I'll share mine. One of my deepest fears is, and I shared it with the brothers, and I got some great feedback from them, was that I didn't think I prepared, my daughters and my grandkids for generational wealth. I mean, yeah, they're going to be okay if I die, but hopefully they ain't trying to kill me. And hopefully that's going to be a long ass time. But, when I say that, I wish there were things that I could have put more in place. I feel like I failed them to some degree because I look at, again, all the other different cultures and the stuff that they put in place. But thanking my brothers that I had the opportunity to sit down. A lot of them shared some good advice with me. Like a few of them told me, "It ain't too late now." One of my other brothers told me, "Don't focus on your daughter, focus on the grandkids." One of the other brothers told me, "You have left them generational wealth. They're good people." And I was like, that really blew my fucking mind when he said that, because he let me know it was just not all about monetary. that I was able to put some good, strong values and ethics and morals within my daughters, and now filtering to my grandchildren. And again, I want them to be known for that. I want them to be able to be known for that. I know I got a little sidetracked. I apologize, but however, I'm going back to that initial question again, where men are talking, ladies. You just gonna have to start listening and stop hearing. Stop hearing. I mean, I had this conversation as I was saying again when we were talking with women, and I told them, I said, it's funny how you can open your mouth for the dentist and never question your dentist about what the hell he's doing in your mouth, but you got to question the dude you're sleeping with every night about what he doing. Okay, some of them go. Some women go get that on the ride home. Go get that on the ride home. And of course, I got some whole different feedback. Oh well, I questioned my dentist, and yeah, I asked my dentist questions and got this and that and the other. But majority of the time, if he did your work the first time you came in, if he did the right job, when you go in there the second time, you have any question him. And that's the way it should be most of the time in your relationship with your guy. If your man hasn't failed you, then you're taking him through all those questions. If his track record proving that whatever he does or what he steps out there to do and he's doing it, then why are you going to go with all the, 99 questions? It doesn't make sense. I mean, again, if you're going to ask questions pertaining to, again, baby, are you okay with what you're going to do? And when I say when you're saying, well, okay, have you, because here's the thing, most of the time men are going to at least have a well figured out plan. I'm not saying we're going to always, but most of the time when we make judgment calls or we're doing something, we pretty much putting a plan together. And if he's got some lack of intelligence, he's going to have a contingency plan. Most of the time when he start putting those wheels in motion, when he even come to you and he telling you what you think, he's already put those wheels in motion, contrary to what you believe. Those wheels are already in motion. Now, based off the conversation, there might be a slight change in plans, or he might shoot it in another direction. But most of the time, he already gone with what he's doing. And I'm saying to you as women, if this man's track record has proven to be great, and this man hasn't let you or your family down, then why all the questions? Like I said again, you'll go open your mouth for the dentist and you ain't asking him nothing. Okay? I agree. Yeah, you got to have that trust. You got to have the trust. That's perfect. That's perfect. You said that. The word submission, I always find that. So actually, to me, this is just my opinion. When men ask women, at least for me, if I ask a woman to submit to me, I'm not asking that woman to be controlled. I'm not asking for me to control that woman. What I'm asking her to do is trust. How they say it, trust the process. Trust the process. If my track record has been great, just trust the process. That's all you need to do. Again, we can trust those individuals that don't have that connection with us. Point taken, Dennis, Minister, Steve Harvey. Yeah. Some of them out there still trusting Steve Harvey. But again, we get all this information and all that rhetoric that they spew out. And I'm not gonna say all women, but a percentage of women take that in. My thing again, you listen to all these people outside of the marriage. Why you not listening to the dude that's sleeping right freaking next to you? That's the one you should be listening to. Nobody else can tell you but him. He can give you the best scenario of what's going on inside of him. But again, you just got to be willing to listen. Every time you respond, don't respond to debate. That's one of the biggest freaking problems we got in relationship when it comes to relationship communication. People respond to react or to cross-examine or to debate. No, respond in a way that, that does make sense. That does make sense. Don't always look to defend when he's asking questions. That's not a good mix. That's not a good mix. Most of the time, people, I would say this, and I'm not going to say just women, most of the time people can't even hold a chain of thought. So again, when they're communicating with somebody, oh, I got to get this out before I forget it. So now that, because again, they focusing on that thought that they have in their head, they're not listening to actually what that person is saying. Because again, the focus is on what I got to respond with. Me, I'm totally the opposite. If you know me or know me as a person, one of my biggest pet peeves is I tell a person when they talk, whether it's my relationships, business, or whatever the case may be, I always tell the person, you got the floor. And I let them talk. And when they finish, if I think they're finished, I always say, are you done? And once they're done, then I start my piece. Now I got, oh, no, don't interrupt, because I need you to hear what I'm saying. Don't interrupt. And see, it's very easy to master this technique. Just take the key words. Take the key words out. If y'all discussing about, bad sex, just again, take the key word out and make sure that that's what y'all focusing on. Or that's what you're focusing on. Because again, you can always start your conversation to keep the conversation going like that. But again, if you're looking to respond to defend, it's always going to be a clash in them. It's going to remain a clash between you all. So please keep that in mind the next time you're in a conversation with the opposite sex, whether you're man or woman. Again, my suggestion to women, I'm gonna tell you, women, I'm not a relationship guru, but I've had quite a bit of relationship experiences. So with that being said, I think I can speak on this topic and again share the information that I have on it. Like I said, it's not 100% positive, but it's always worked for me. I'll put it that way. It's always worked for me. I would love to see a time again where men, and this is the other thing I find quite, I want to say, disturbing. Men are not your enemies. Keep that in mind. We are not your enemy. If I had to give a woman a piece of advice, first thing I'm gonna tell her, understand I'm not your enemy. We have got to really, really close the gap between black men and black women. We have to get away from being at odds with one another, even if we disagree. We got to get away from being at odds with one another. This world is about to see a transformation that none of us are prepared for. I'm just gonna be real with you. The way things are escalating and evolving in this world, we are not prepared. And so with that being said, it's going to be a lot better for all of us to start forming some type of union to be able to handle stuff when it does come. I'm not going to say we're going to be able to digest it correctly, but the fact is, again, if we got a strong union, a strong bond, just as a collective group, and I'm not just talking about just on the relationship side, I'm talking about black people as a whole. We got to understand, again, we have got to bridge this gap, you all, between us. We've got to bridge it. There's other people out there that's exceeding beyond the stars, I should say. And when I say beyond the stars, I mean, I'm talking about going into the AI world and all the other things that it's going to bring forth. But again, we got to start, again, being more we should start collaborating more. And again, putting those things, like I said, we can always agree to disagree, but what we should keep in mind is let's not all take it personal. We shouldn't be getting upset just because somebody's offering us criticism, or somebody's telling us what we do to correct ourselves. I'm not a perfect person by a long shot. I know I'm not. So again, when somebody makes suggestions or come at me and tell me what it is that I need to improve on, I take it. I try to apply it if I find it suitable within me and it will help me benefit myself as a better person, then I'm going to apply it. But I don't discount whenever somebody says something to me. Again, I think I've been talking a whole lot, and I don't know how I got it. But I was hoping again that maybe we got a lot of people to chime in on this whole thing or jump in on these conversations. And again, I understand Ms. T got our following, or the correction, Lady T got our following, and like I said, people probably just saw my face and go, "Oh, I'm on the wrong channel." So I'm not upset about that, but hopefully they will at least take some of this in and be able to apply it. Hopefully somebody will go back and look at it. Ms. Kim, I do appreciate the fact that you stepped in and offered comment as well as Brother Farah. I appreciate that, Bob. I probably couldn't talk about nothing else if you guys wouldn't have gave me no topic. I probably would have been talking about those doggone football games on TV and whatnot. But and how sad that is too, you know. But I'm glad you guys had the opportunity to jump in on this conversation. Feel free to tell people. I think I'm going to be hosting next Monday as well until Tanya makes it back from her hiatus. Hopefully, maybe next week I could get a bigger following or a bigger crowd. I'm going to reach out to a lot of my people as well and let them know that I'll be doing this and having them chime in on the topics and whatnot and everything else. Maybe we can get a good flow going. But I'm not going to just sign off just yet. But like I said, if you guys want to have any questions or comments that you want to throw in before we do, please, by all means, shoot them up there. Let's see what happens. Yeah, can a woman raise a boy to be a man? Ooh, dude, I don't think we got enough time for that one. I don't think we got enough time for that one, but I'll touch on that one real quickly. You and I have a strong debate about this all the time. His debate is yes, it can happen. Me personally, no, I don't think it can happen. I don't think it can happen. I was fortunate enough to be raised by a single parent, which was my mother. Beautiful woman. Love her to death. Love her to death. As I'm sitting there talking about it, I'm looking at her picture right now. My mom passed away a couple of years ago. And but without that being said, did she raise me to be a man? And we used to have that argument. Believe it or not, me and my mom used to have this argument a lot. We used to have this argument a lot. And she would express herself in her opinion on this. She was a strong ass woman for 4'11", very strong. But anyway, I would tell her, no, you didn't raise me to be a man. I literally would tell her that. I said, no, what you did, you raised me to be a great person. She gave me ethics, morals, integrity, scruples, all that. She gave all that. She gave me my fiery attitude. She gave me her strong will to not let people just piss on my head and tell me it's raining. She gave me all those great qualities, all the great. But now, as far as when it came to stepping into that manhood, nah, she didn't. I mimicked what I saw that was near me, and those were my uncles. Matter of fact, I did have one uncle that actually stayed with us at that time, and I mimicked basically what he did the majority of the time. I saw how he did things. One of the other, I mimicked two men that I grew in the neighborhood that I grew up in. They weren't like athletes or anything like that. These were just men that took care of their responsibilities. I would see these guys get up every morning, anyway, because I had a paper route. I would see these guys get up every morning, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. They off. They go deal with that. And again, we're talking about like 70s, during the 70s and stuff like that. So again, y'all know that racism stuff was hot at that particular time. But these brothers were going out there and dealing with them jobs and still coming home at the end of the day, taking care of their families, being involved in their kids' activities and so forth. And I kind of mimicked those guys. I saw those guys, and I would say those were the images I wanted to be. So when I saw that, that's what I started picking up. I started watching how they moved, how they did things. And if I would say that they were the key in raising me to be that man, one of the things I used to say about when women raise men, and I don't know, I may get a little feedback on this one too. I say, are you raising him to be a man, or are you raising him to be the man that you wanted to date? And again, some women will get that on the ride home. Yeah, I would truly ask them, is that something that they really want? Because what I found throughout my lifetime, I used to coach sports for kids and stuff like that. And again, I encounter single mothers most of the time. And again, I would see a lot of that again, that nurturing side, overbearing, overprotective. And I'm not saying these are bad traits. I'm not saying these are bad traits, but there's a time and place for everything, and there's a place and time for everything. So when I say that, I would say again to the women, yeah, I would see them do certain things, and I'm like, oh my God, that boy, they're gonna be in trouble, especially if there's no man around. I'm a strong believer in this, especially if you decide to have a child with someone, even though if you two don't get along, continue to allow that man in his life. Now, I'm not gonna say every brother, true to the game and stepping up and being responsible of their children, but is you as the mother, you are the gateholder. You are the gateholder. You are gatekeeper, I should say. I'm sorry. You're the gatekeeper. You are the one that can determine how that's gonna go. If you leave the gate open, and like I said, this brother halfway decent, or if he had give a damn about his children, he's gonna step through that gate. Like I said again, you all may not agree on everything on how it is to raise the child, but just understand that at the end of the day is just this. You all are investing, both of you, in this individual. So he's got to see both sides of the fence. He can't just see one side of the fence all the time. And again, growing up, that's all he gonna keep seeing. So this is why, and I'm gonna tread real lightly on this next statement. This is why we have so many quote unquote confused children out here. I'm gonna put this disclaimer out here, and I hope this doesn't get Tanya barred from Facebook. But I will say this: no kid at 7 or 12-year-old should be able to determine who the freak they are in this life. Come on, seriously, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. At 12 years old, I couldn't even pee straight. So how long can I sit here and tell you I wasn't a man? Hell, I didn't know that. I mean, that wasn't even if I felt something different on the inside, that was still not a decision I can make at 12-year-old. At 12 years old, I wanted to be Spider-Man. Or that shit didn't pan out. That did not pan out. So I mean, again, at those ages, we're confused as individuals. Yeah, we're confused as individuals. So that's something we definitely need. Matter of fact, let's keep that as the next topic. And I'll still get some feedback as well from other people. I just been told by the director I have 2 minutes. So at this point, Derek, thank you, brother. I appreciate all your assistance in this, man. You were great help. I appreciate you, man. I can see why Tanya associated herself with you, brother. You do a great job. Man. Again, people, I thank you for having the opportunity to step in and tune in. I appreciate it. Tanya, thank you for allowing me to host this. I hope I did an adequate job. Let me know. Get back with me and let me know. Again, if you're out there, please tune in. Hopefully she'll let me have the opportunity next week as well to do this. And I'm going to definitely get my people out here to get on this, because we talk too much shit not to be on this thing. So we're going to get out here. Mr. Farad, thank you. I appreciate you, brother. I always love you. Ms. Kim, thank you for taking the time out and sitting and talking with us today. Guys, I hope you had a great time. And if not, just humor me. But please, if you have opportunity, pass this information on to folks. You all have a good night. I always end something with a quote. I don't let the world change me. I change the world. Y'all have a good night.